My manager printed her rules on laminated cards and taped them to every surface in the break room. By month 2, I had found a way around every single one of them. I took the job at the insurance firm 3 weeks after graduating, genuinely grateful to have anything. Sandra, my direct supervisor, had a reputation before I even met her. She's a control freak, my coworker Marcus told me quietly on my first day. Everything is a rule with her, just stay under the radar. I tried. For about a week. Rule 1. All lunch breaks must be taken between noon and 1 p.m. The problem was that Sandra treated that exact hour as prime supervision time, hovering, assigning last-minute tasks, asking questions that required immediate answers. Nobody could actually leave. So I started taking my break the second the clock hit noon, standing up mid-sentence if necessary, putting on my coat while Sandra was still talking. She'd pause mid-thought. "It's noon," I'd say pleasantly. "Break time." She amended the rule. Lunch breaks now required supervisor approval submitted 10 minutes prior, so I set up a recurring calendar invite titled Lunch Break Approval Request, mandatory per policy, that fired at 11:50 every workday. When she started ignoring them, I stayed at my desk and ate the most fragrant meals I could find. Leftover fish on Monday, garlic pasta on Tuesday, a hard-boiled egg situation on Wednesday that I will not elaborate on. By Thursday afternoon, she told me to just take lunch whenever I needed. Rule 2. All client emails must be reviewed by Sandra before sending. I started submitting everything for review. Auto-reply confirmations, 2-sentence follow-ups, a message that read, in its entirety, received thank you. Each one came with a formal review request and a timestamp. Her inbox became unmanageable. Within 2 weeks, she'd revised the rule to cover only large proposals. I printed her exact wording, dated it, and filed it. Rule 3. No personal calls at your desk. My mother called once about a family issue, and Sandra appeared at my cubicle within 30 seconds of my answering. After that, I took every personal call in the hallway phone booth outside our office, technically shared building property with no company jurisdiction. I'd stand out there 20 minutes sometimes. Sandra eventually tried to extend the rule to include common areas. The building manager emailed her directly to clarify that she had no authority over the hallway. She never acknowledged that email in front of anyone. That was a genuinely good week. Rule 4. Time off requests must be submitted 60 days in advance. I submitted requests for every federal holiday, my birthday, and 4 Fridays I had no actual plan for, all exactly 60 days out. Then I put in a request for one Tuesday in March, labeled Personal Wellness Day, and nothing else. Sandra denied it. I escalated to HR, citing my full compliance with the stated policy. HR approved it within the hour. Sandra didn't speak to me directly for almost 2 weeks after that. The breaking point came at our monthly staff meeting. Sandra handed out a new policy document. 6 pages, laminated, spiral bound. As she was still going through the introduction, I turned to page 4. There it was. Employees may not seek workarounds that circumvent the intent of any stated policy. I raised my hand. This clause isn't actually enforceable, I said. Intent has no defined standard here. Without specific language codifying what intent means for each individual rule, any HR escalation would fail. You'd need a companion document, which would itself be subject to interpretation. The room was completely quiet. Sandra looked at the HR coordinator at the end of the table, who gave a small, careful nod. "She's right," she said. Sandra collected her materials. The meeting ended without further agenda items. 2 days later, she called me into her office. She didn't look angry. She looked tired in the way people look when they finally stop fighting something. "No more policy documents," she said. "If something comes up, we handle it directly, like adults." I told her that worked for me, and I meant it. Not as a parting shot, not as a setup for the next round, just as the simplest, most honest answer I had.